Hey, Rodney, how's it going? Teddy here. I'm ready. I'm
Well,
ready, man. Man, I watched this
yeah,
AMA. A lot of crazy things. A lot of crazy
right.
things.
What you didn't know about Teddy's that we're both black, right, Teddy?
I'm actually Indian,
I know. I'm fucking with you. I know you're Indian. I'm fucking with you.
but I am colored, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Color people. All right. So, what did you feel? How did you feel about the AMA? Okay, for preface this, Teddy Ganja is a Saitama supporter, like we all are, right? We want it to win. So don't think he's some fucking hater if he says anything negative. He's pretty trans. He supports Saitama. So
Yep.
send it.
Hey guys, I'm Amazon Web Services Solutions Architect. What I specialize in is making high availability applications that have close to 500,000 to 3 million concurrent users at a time. So what SAITAMASK is doing is very less. It's like not even a big issue. It's 300,000 something users at a time they can have concurrently. And recently what they've
Okay.
been telling us is they're having DDoS attacks. People are spending hundreds and thousands of dollars to do DDoS attacks, which is crazy. No one is spending money to do a DDoS attack. Even the most degenerate dude is not spending money to FUD or send any type of attack to SAITAMASK. And the reason I believe this is like, let's think about it. Who has issues with SAITAMASK going live? Really, nobody wants to see SAITAMASK fail. It seems like most of the community supports SAITAMASK. They want it to go up. But
Yeah.
where we're getting lied to is the transparency from Russ and Max. They're not telling us, they're not showing us proof that, hey, we are having a layer 7 bot attack. We're having, issues with DDoS attacks. Because one, I can still access the application's UI. I can still do service callouts to the backend that they're using. And I'm still able to access the application. So I don't even believe that this DDoS attack is legitimate.
Shit. Oh, yeah. Okay. So I don't know shit about it. So, and I think the majority of us don't know shit because none of us are technical people. We don't work in that field. So it's kind of hard for us to understand. First of all, thank you guys for all the donations. This video is going to be on YouTube, by the way. I'm cutting this. So it's going to be on YouTube. And I'll link Teddy Ganja's video. He does cryptocurrency videos himself, but it's cool to get somebody that's an expert on the matter. So go on.
Yeah, so like one of the things I was thinking as an example for DDoS attacks, when someone makes a DDoS attack, usually what they try to do is to make the application not even available, such as they are hitting the API service layer and you're not even making a call out. What that means is every time you hit the login or register, instead of getting a network connection error, that call wouldn't even be available. It would just be in a standstill mode because the servers are being flooded. Their backend is Amazon Web Services. Amazon.com that has billions of users at a time. You're telling me that their servers can't handle DDoS attacks? Well, every other application on this platform is working, but SAITAMASK platform is not working. Like, come on. Like even the simplest application will have traffic going through Amazon servers. Go ahead.
So they're using Amazon servers?
They're using Amazon servers. I was in the cryptologist AMA space. Their backend is Amazon Web Services. When I heard that, I'm like, there is no way this is a denial of service attack. Amazon has something called a WAF filter. They have something called AWS Shield, which is a firewall. You can literally have insight to every single IP address that comes in through the application, which is like unbelievable that they're even thinking that a majority of people would think that this is true, which is why I'm asking right up to Max, right out to Saitama Guru, show me the proof. Show me the proof that this really is a DDoS attack. From my experience, I think this is an email issue. And the reason
what's an email issue?
So one of the services that Amazon has is called AWS SES, which is simple email service. And what simple email service does is it sends out email templates. So when you press that login or register and you get that verification email, usually what people do is they do one API call to the email service, and that's it. Well, when you're using API Gateway, which is another Amazon service that SAITAMASK is using, the email service can get overwhelmed when you call it directly. Like, let's say 300,000 users use Amazon SES to get their verification email. Well, when Amazon sees 300,000 calls at the same time to their email service, they think that's a bot attack and they turn it off. They're like, nope, can't. That's illegal. And this happens because email service has two positions, a test position and a production position. And in the test position, like you can't do much other than like send 5 or 6 emails at a time. And you can't really test the full flow. When you go to the production mode on AWS SES, you have to tell Amazon the what do they call them? The cloud provider that, hey, I'm going to have turning this on live in production, and I'm going to have like 300,000 concurrent users. Be ready for this volume. I guarantee you, because I've done this myself when I launched an app. I forgot to inform Amazon that, hey, I'm going to be sending like 1 million users emails at the same time. Don't shut me off. And I didn't do that. And guess what Amazon did? As soon as we went live, they shut off all the emails. And my app's live. Wow. Everyone can access the app, but no one can register. Very similar to what SAITAMASK is going through now. So at that time, what we did was we did a phased rollout. We went to each different country and we were like, hey, let's start emails here. And then we slowly got everyone back on the app. And it was like almost a 2-week delay, which is very similar to what SAITAMASK is doing. And now the other things that they've implemented is they've also added, what is this? The reCAPTCHA. I feel like they only added the reCAPTCHA to validate that, like, hey, it's a bot attack and we need reCAPTCHA. So the bots slowed down in signing up. And really, they had no need to add reCAPTCHA. What they had to add was what they call a queue service, which is how you prevent Amazon from being overwhelmed. What a queue service does is it slows down the email so it's not all hit at the same time. So instead of hitting 300,000 emails at the same time, I think the entire time they were pushing code versions, they were adding this queue service in so that way they could slow down the emails, and it's only 10 emails at a time that are being sent, which now people can register. People can now use API Gateway. And my theory is this was always working, and they're just not being transparent with us to say, hey, we got shut down because we forgot to tell Amazon. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, interesting. Yeah, because my thing is like, I feel like when it comes to DDoS attacks, since like historically a lot of people have been, they've gotten, the launch has been delayed because of this. I saw a Coinbase post about it. I saw a Binance post where they were posting and they got hit with DDoS attacks. But I'm saying like, well, if, and this was in 2017 and 2018. Well, if they got hit, why wouldn't we be better prepared for that? And I was researching DDoS attacks, and there's like measures that you can take before launching.
Yes, and these measures were not taken, by the way. When I first heard about that SAITAMASK was on AWS, they flat out told me in the cryptologist space where he was doing a dev space and people could ask him questions, they had to turn on the WAF filter, which is the fire protection with the IPs that are coming in so you can regulate the IPs by region and stuff. And they had to turn on AWS Shield. And he says in the space, he's like, we just turned these on and now we're looking at it. When you're in this space and you're building enterprise applications, especially at the level that I'm at, you already think about these things prior to going launch, right? You already have that book, the run book is what we call it. And you go down the run book. You're like, hey, this WAF is on. Yes, a checklist. And this simple thing feels like it was missed, unfortunately. And I'm not trying to spread FUD or anything. What I'm trying to say is this is nothing but an experience thing. Once they have this experience, every other project they go to will now succeed because now they've hit all these speed bumps. They know how to get past them and how to get ready. So that's the hope here. This is what, like, this probably won't be the devs only project, right? They're going to move to other projects. They're going to do the same thing, launch another app. They now know how to do signups. They now know how to do the email. So I feel like this is nothing but like a bootleg just to branch out and get even more in the future. So we'll see what happens.
That's interesting. Okay, so when you compare your background, first of all, tell us your background a little bit, because you said you work for Amazon, correct?
Yeah, so I work for a consulting company, and we do work in Amazon Web Services. So my background started in healthcare. I was initially hired straight out of college to work on the Affordable Care Act. At that time, there was a company called CGI Federal that said that they could not deliver Obamacare within the 1 year, something they spent on it, and they took $2.2 billion from taxpayers, and they legit could not deliver the application. At this time, a company called Accenture had to come up with what they call the Center of Excellence team, and they interviewed me and they hired me for this team. I had no clue what I was getting my head into, but I got hired by this team. As soon as I got in, they were like, hey, this company, CGI Federal, cannot deliver Obamacare. I need you to come in and deliver Obamacare.
So you had to you pretty much had to figure it out, right?
which I pretty much had to figure out. And this company was lying to me. They told me that their code was 76 million lines of code, which is more lines of code than an operating system. And they weren't able to deliver Obamacare. So at that time, instead of trying to figure out what the lies CGI Federal was telling me, what I did was, hey, let's build a queue system. And I love queues now. And let's just get everyone's information in and we'll process them after. So day one of Obamacare, you can sign up. You registered. We send you an email saying, hey, you registered for Obamacare. Get ready for more things later on. That was how we delivered Obamacare on the day that it went live, even after transitioning from another company. And guys, I only had like 1 month to deliver an application that had 13.3 million lives on this application now. It's really big. And then from there, I branched off and I started helping other healthcare applications, including reimbursement applications, such as what Rodney did with claim systems, right? And getting the insurance to do a prior auth and get the money back. So that's really where my head's at. Let's help the human beings that are alive today. Let's make this process easier. Let's automate the healthcare process. So it's just a much easier space. And that's where my head's at. But during this time, I also do fun things. Like I participate in AWS hackathons. And what a hackathon is they put a bunch of developers in a room and you have to be the best one, right? So I've actually won the hackathon twice. I've placed. And it's a great thing because you have thousands of developers and your team is the best one of all of them. And every time I've won, I've never met any of the guys previously, because you'll find out in hackathon teams, people they team up, they already know each other and they build great applications. For me, every time I've won, it's a random group. I'm just going in as a developer and then boom, we win. So it's a great feeling because I feel like, hey, AWS is something I've known. They've offered me jobs. I've denied them. I like what I do. I enjoy what I do. So that's where my head's at. But that's really what my background is. I'm an AWS solutions architect. I can build applications, web-based, application-based, app store-based, whatever they may be.
That's awesome. That's great. That's a crazy background. Yeah. And so for the healthcare industry, I actually worked in intake. So what I did is I would look at insurances for incoming patients that wanted to be in our hospital. I would see if there was a bed for them and then I would deal with their insurance to make sure it passes and clears and those sorts of things. So that's what I did. Okay. So during this AMA, we heard the Saitama team say something I didn't want to hear, which is we kind of just pushed it out. These things usually take a year to get out, but they said we kind of pushed it out. Now, the crazy thing to me is that in November, they kept saying they had the app 100% done, but we were just waiting for the CERTIC audit. So in November, it was a 100% done, but we were just waiting for the CERTIC audit. And Saitama really started catching heat or momentum really around August, right? When Saitama Group took over ownership, took the Inu out, and those sorts of things, right? So what does that tell you? In the span of 3 months, right, ish, they had a fully functioning app, because that's what they've been saying, 100% done by November 13th.
So this is what does that mean? When an app is ready to go to production, that's what it's called when you put it out to everybody in the world, right? You call that the production environment. What happens is they've done everything they needed to do for CERTIC, and they left that app as is in production mode, and they felt we are good. So in November, I guarantee you, SAITAMASK is version 1.1, has not made any changes till the release today. They basically got the clearance from CERTIC. They were like, yep, we're good. We're not going to change anything in the code. We're going to release it because this is what CERTIC approved. Now they've hit, these roadblocks from DDoS attacks or the email service going down, whatever it may be. From there, now they know the 1.1, which passed CERTIC audit, is no longer viable. They need to find a way to push updates out without compromising or destroying the value of their coin. The best way to do that, hey guys, everyone is getting this. It's not just us. Coinbase is getting it, but Coinbase is still up. Binance is getting it. Binance is still up. So I'm like, come on, like use common sense here. Amazon has services, regions, right? Each region handles all the traffic. There's no separate lines for each customer. It's the same network cable that your traffic is going through. So if SAITAMASK is getting DDoS attacked, every service in Amazon would be getting DDoS attacked to the point that it would be down. So even if they released in November, the app would not work, and we would have seen the same issues that much earlier that we would have been maybe functioning right now.
Interesting. That's all interesting information. And that's in my channel, people think I FUD Saitama, guys, but I'm a Saitama holder. A lot of us are. And at the end of the day, I know I talk shit. I'm comedic with it. I make jokes and those sorts of things. But the core message of my value is I want people that are new into crypto to just not accept a shit sandwich. When someone's telling you something, don't just take it as absolute. Be skeptical of me, of anyone, of Teddy, right? Be skeptical. Start looking at other YouTube channels, other resources, because when you're stuck in your little dome, you don't really get to see opposing opinions. And when something looks wrong, you can ignore reality, right? But you can't ignore the consequences of ignoring reality. And the consequence right now of ignoring reality is the price of Saitama. It's not me. It's not anybody else on the internet making FUD videos, right? Is making the price do this. It's the team just tripping over themselves week after week after week. It seems like they can't get out of their own way sometimes.
Rodney, I do want to ask you, did you see, I don't know if you agree, but like Saitama Guru's wife did a post today about the hustle. And it's something that really struck hard with me because I was an initial Dogecoin investor and I watched Elon Musk go on SNL and call Doge a hustle. And what happened when Elon called Doge a hustle? The price tanked. And today the price is tanking. And guess what? Saitama Guru's wife has a post that says hustle. Like, come on, guys. Like, you are in a public space. You're representing a CEO. Like, you should have some type of mannerism to tell you, like, hey, like, I probably should not post something when my husband is, a CEO of a company and my name has Saitama in it. This really upset me a lot. Like, just hearing this post, seeing this post. What do you think?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. So here's the thing. It's like it reminds me of the Patrick Mahomes situation. Patrick Mahomes is a star quarterback in the NFL, probably the most popular one besides Tom Brady. And his wife is going on arguing with Chiefs fans in the comments because he's having poor games, right? You don't do that. And you don't say things like this, hustle until your haters ask if you're hiring. Stop. This is not how a professional business runs themselves. And when I make videos about professionalism, people give me a hard time. This is not how professional businesses run themselves. This is not what they do. They don't do this kind of weird multi-level marketing, weird shit, right? They don't do stuff like this. So stop posting on Twitter. Stop arguing with people in the comments because there's going to be people who are critical of Saitama who say mean things to you like they do to me, right? You just got to ignore it. What are you going to do? Sit on Twitter all day and argue with them? No. Your husband's trying to run a successful company. They're fucking up hard right now. Let them figure it out. Stop arguing with people in the comments. Now, I get it. It's her right to go on here and express her opinion. But when you do that, you give people feel, right? And there's that other comment about, the other day where she talks about how haters are gonna hate because or something like that. You guys can
don't come after my husband. He's traveling the next 2 days, so be nice and leave the negativity out. Guys, why isn't her husband telling us this? Why isn't our husband the one that's being like transparent and being like, guys, I'm traveling the next 2 days. I may not reach out to you, but it's coming from her.
It's weird. And look at Slim Jesus, completely wrong for calling her what he called her. Super wrong.
That's not okay.
No, but the tweet from her, I'd never call anyone's wife or anyone's loved one anything, right? Because that's not them. So, but she said some pretty messed up things. She says also, Russ is traveling all day today and tomorrow, so save your negative energy for someone and something else. Thanks. That is all. There's actually those of us out here putting in work behind the scenes instead of griping about every little thing. Why would you say that to people who are still haven't got their damn application? Why would you say that? What it's just to me, it's like it's out of touch.
I agree. I completely agree. And this is one of the reasons I think the price is downtrending right now because that's what it feels like.
Yeah. Well, I had a person I respect. Her name's Tammy. She likes to do a lot of trade on
just. I'm one of your mods. I've seen this lady. Come on, Lively Void, represent.
I know, but before the people that are watching the video, because this is going to be a video. I'm putting this up on YouTube right now.
Oh, okay.
She talks about Saitama and the price. I don't know where it went, but I retweeted it. Here it goes. She says how it says historically 42 has been an area of support here. We've seen a quick dips to 38 and bounce right back up. If it breaks through 38, we could see a massive tumble. If it accumulates here, then it's a good adding zone to take profits in the 80s, right? So if it stays in this area, we could probably take some buy some more and it could go to the moon. Of course, I don't know if that's true. It's not financial advice, but we've been saying high 7s, 80s is probably a good selling point on this channel for quite a while.
Yeah, I mean, from this downtrend, if it does do a breakout, like if you look at chart patterns, so in that breakout and it does another either a head move, it's a good time to get out because it's going to dip right after that, and you can get back in. I'm not saying, hey, hold forever, but take profits like Rodney always says. Rodney's a great YouTuber, which is one of the reasons I got into YouTube, because he's right. Take profits. If you hold on to forever, you may have a moonshot situation where you got in at a good price, it skyrocketed, you continued to hold because you felt that's what everyone's telling you to do. And look at moonshot price today, right? It's at the same exact point of when you got in. So no loss, no gain.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy. Well, thank you so much for being on the
Yes.
channel, Teddy Ganja. I'm going to go ahead and put the link to your YouTube channel down below. I'm going to spam the heck out of it. Thank you so much for sharing your expertise with us, man. I do appreciate you and all the work that you do. And I think your YouTube channel is underrated. And I think it's only a matter of time. So that shit just goes stupid, dude. I'm not even, I mean, it's only a matter of time. To be honest,
from you and Sandstorm alone, I have gone like 100-something subscribers in the last 2 days, which is crazy because before this, it's like I put out 5 videos. I was lucky to get 10 subscribers. So I appreciate you, Rodney. I appreciate the Sandstorm. This is a great space. And I hope every single one of you likes and subscribes to this stream, this channel, because it is going places. I can see Rodney at 100K subscribers easy. This is nothing for us, guys. Degen Gang, stand up, and I'm out.
Let's
Thanks,
go,
Rodney.
baby. Let's fucking go, baby. Yeah.